Thanks to the guys over at Bandai Namco, I was able to play My Hero Academia All's Justice early. I had about 3 hours to play the full build of the game, but there were only certain sections that we were able to experience, so I'm just gonna relay my experience that I had to you guys. And of course, spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't seen the final season of My Hero Academia. First up is the story mode, and it's sectioned into 3 different parts: animated slideshows, gameplay sections, and fully animated cutscenes. My first experience with the story mode was an animated slideshow. Here, you see that though it may not be fully animated, you can still see the characters interact with each other in the My Hero Academia art style. The first animated slideshow I saw was right after Armored All Might lost Hercules against his battle against All For One. And before All For One dealt the final blow, Bakugo rushes in to save him. I think one benefit of the animated slideshows is that they are all voiced, so you can stay completely immersed into the story. Now we get into the story mode gameplay. I was able to experience 2 battles of Bakugo fighting off against All For One Rewind. The first bit of gameplay you're seeing was my very first time playing the story mode, and after I got folded by All For One Rewind countless times, since he was really difficult to fight. So I'm trying my best to get accustomed to the controls, because there are some differences in this game compared to My Hero 1's Justice 2. Of course, you do still have the ability to use some things you're familiar with, like breaking through your opponent's guard with a guard crash, but there are also some new things that you'll have to get used to. But we'll worry about that later on in the video. Focusing back on the story, All For One Rewind genuinely was no joke. His moves hit very hard and can easily knock you out if you aren't careful. However, though he may be strong, there is one thing I personally wasn't a fan of. I've spoken about this for other games too, but instead of making the CPU smarter or giving them more health, they opted to make him difficult by giving him super armor, which artificially boosts the difficulty. I wish they would have taken a different approach with that, but apart from that, the fight was challenging and overall enjoyable. The combat feels fast-paced, more so than the last game, but it is still pretty floaty. For anyone who has played the previous games, you know how floaty it can be when you start comboing in the air, but surprisingly, it didn't really feel as if it detracted from the overall pacing of the battle. In fact, personally speaking, I heavily enjoyed fighting in the air since it made the battles feel more dynamic. Zooming around, chasing down your opponent, and dealing damage with a combo in midair never gets old to me. Granted, you do also have to be careful with the environment that you're fighting in, because it could give you the ability to stall a bit by running away and hiding from your opponent, as well as making some moves miss entirely. But luckily, certain elements of the environments are destructible, so you still have the means of being able to pressure your opponent by destroying the environment, leaving them with nowhere to run and hide. But again, that also goes for you too. All in all, the battles were fun all around. I never got tired of fighting off against All For One Rewind in my 3-hour play session, so I'm sure you guys will have a great time as you experience everything the My Hero Academia All's Justice story mode has to offer. And now it's time for my second fight against All For One Rewind, but unlike the first fight, where I fought him a few times at the beginning of my play session before I was finally able to win, this time, I was able to fight him and beat him on my first try, since I did this battle at the end of my play session, after I got to play as other characters and get completely accustomed to the controls. I did say earlier that there are some new things you'll have to get used to in My Hero Academia All's Justice. One of them, which made this fight much easier to handle, is the addition of a new mechanic called Rising. When Rising is activated, all of your moves are significantly boosted, allowing you to strike past super armor and deal devastating damage if used properly. We got to see Rising in action at the beginning of the battle, but as long as you deal damage, block damage, or take damage, you'll be able to fill the Rising gauge back up and continue dealing major damage to your opponent. However, Rising doesn't mean that you're invincible. You can still take damage and even be defeated while in Rising. So though it may power you up, if you're not careful against your opponent, they can still turn the tide of battle and knock you out. Also, I noticed that combo extensions are different in this game. They seem shorter in comparison to the previous games. I remember trying to do certain combos that I frequently used in My Hero 1's Justice 2, just to find out that they no longer worked. However, I think they traded off those combos in favor of being able to swap to a different character mid-battle and extend the combos with them. Sidekicks no longer use support moves since you're now able to swap directly to them once their gauge is full, so a lot of the combo extensions you know from the previous games will now diverge into learning 3 characters instead. Though you won't see that in this gameplay since this story battle is solely focused on Bakugo and All For One Rewind, Just note that it was a really cool way to experience battles in this game. Now for the technical aspects. My Hero Academia All's Justice seems to run at 4K 60 FPS. There is a bit of screen tearing in the gameplay, but that actually wasn't from the game. It was just my capture card being weird. The game was perfectly smooth the entire gameplay session. I experienced absolutely no frame rate drops of any kind. Plus, this was running on my second PC with the RTX 3090 in it, so you can definitely expect better performance with newer GPUs. Still, seeing this game in 4K 60 FPS was really nice. The animations were smooth, the visuals were flashy and engrossing, and having all that going on without the game dropping frames once is truly incredible. And as for the fully animated cutscene for this battle, I actually recorded my reaction the day I played, so I'll leave you guys with that. Check it out, and let me know your thoughts on My Hero Academia All's Justice in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay, but with that, I'm Itakuba, like, share, and subscribe, and enjoy my reaction to the fully animated cutscene. Man, oh, okay, whoa. Yeah, okay, bro, you got it. Oh, this cutscene, this looks really good. What? Yeah, nah, bro. Bakugo, you are cooked, bro. It's over. You're done. Oh. Nah, bro. Hold on. Wait. Like this looks really good. He's literally cooked. Yeah.
I shot off a bunch of explosive swag.
And like, if this is like how the cutscenes like look, this is my first cutscene I'm seeing. Like, if this is how they look, oh my goodness, man! Like, imagine for like the rest of the battles that happen afterwards. On. Man, oh my goodness! Like this is incredible, man. Yup. Oh. No, yeah, no, that's that heat. That's that heat. That's so cool, bro. That's so cool. What? Oh, he's gonna strike the pose. Hit him with it.
I never could have hoped to beat that guy. At least not.
Yep.
Yeah,
oh man.
I wanted to do the All Might victory pose.
Hey, you tried to strike the pose.
Go get him.
You did your thing, Baku. No, you really did your thing. That looked nice. Holy.